Everybody, please welcome Brooke Arnold. Keep it going. Make sure she gets it.
Hello? Hello. It's me. I wanted to create an association between myself and Adele for you. Because I feel like anytime you experience any media that's not her right now, it's a disappointment. No, actually, I also want to do that because I want to be associated with a good pop star in your mind, because somebody told me the other day that they think I look a lot like Christina Aguilera if she were still fat. You can laugh at that. Because it's not true, right? I look nothing like her. If I have a celebrity look-alike, it's totally John Benet Ramsey. If she were still alive. This is what she would have had to look forward to. As you might guess from my sturdy frame, I'm not from New York. I am actually from Texas. Don't freak out. Somebody always in New York audience always gets scared when you say the word Texas, which I totally get, right? Texas has a terrible reputation. It's called the Lone Star State, but that's really just its Yelp review. And it's very much earned its bad reputation, right? Because it's the land of George W. Bush, Jessica Simpson, lethal injections. But you might not know this, but it's actually a really great place to live if you're white. Trash. Which is why I enjoyed it, of course. I moved to New York actually about 5 years ago, and it was a big adjustment for me being here, as you can imagine. It's really different in New York than it is in Texas. For example, you can't really see the sky here quite so much. And people in New York believe in a bunch of hippy-dippy liberal bullshit, like evolution. Another big difference is there's a lot of Jewish people here in New York. Do we have any Jews here tonight? One. All right. Well, you will be happy to know that much like this room, there's actually only one Jew in the entire state of Texas. And his name is Jesus Christ. Or as I like to call him, my mother's imaginary friend. When I moved here, I actually started dating a guy who was from New York and who was half Jewish. And I was really nervous how my conservative, gun-loving father would feel about that. So I asked him, I was like, Dad, how do you feel about me dating a Jew from New York? And he said, I'm just glad it's a man. Now, I actually grew up in a really, really religious environment. My parents are fundamentalist Christians, which of course means I disappoint them every time I wear pants. Or get my period. It also means that I'm probably the only person here who's had an exorcism performed on them. Just a wild guess. No, actually, my parents had an exorcism performed on me when I told them that I wanted to go to college. It's true. It turned out to be really good preparation for college, though, because it involved a bunch of strange men holding me down on the ground. Oh, man. I'm having a bad week, you guys. A real bad week. I'm going to tell you why. I'm upset because my brother has a new girlfriend. And I'm upset about that, not because I'm from Arkansas. Remember, I'm from Texas. I'm upset because it means there's now one more person in my family that my mom loves more than me. And she proved this to me. I was like, Mom, what do you think of Jay's new girlfriend? And she said, she's like the daughter I've never had. Thanks, Mom. I also don't like this girl because there's a very large age difference between her and my brother. So, my brother, he's 40, and his new girlfriend is 18. No reaction. Totally cool. Yeah, we're like, yeah, that's great. Good for him. Gold star. He actually texted me a picture of this girl, and it's a picture of a child flipping off the camera and wearing a Corona bikini. I was like, if you're 40, your girlfriend should at least have a blue moon bikini. So we can just like squeeze oranges where her tits are gonna be someday. I feel like I should tell you guys, like, I'm not a judgmental person. Like, I think people should love who they want to love. They should have sex with who they want to have sex with, right? It just makes me feel really uncomfortable that my brother is dating a woman who's the same age as my first abortion. Because it kind of makes her like the daughter I've never had. Christmas is going to be real awkward this year. I'm going to be like, hey, you remind me of someone that I didn't treat all that well. While we're on the topic, did you guys know that actually when you go to have an abortion, you can check a box if you'd like to donate the fetus to scientific research? Did you know that? It's true. I've done it both times. Which, of course, means it's now possible that my unborn children will accomplish more than I ever will. Right? Think about it. Like, they could be curing cancer right now. I woke up this morning with Dorito cheese caked on my fingers. I think they really could be the best people who've never lived. I read this article the other day that there's this scientist in Japan, and he's taking those, like, full-size sex dolls, like those real dolls, you know what I'm talking about? And he's going to put artificial intelligence in them so that they can start talking. I want you to just think for a second about like the kind of guy who has sex with a sex doll and then just realize that these dolls are only going to be programmed with lies. That's all they're going to do, right? They're going to say things like, oh, it's so big. Or the classic lie, that feels good. Or maybe, since they're sex robots, something like, autism is sexy. Somebody got mad at me for telling that joke the other day, believe it or not. I got off the stage and he came up to me and he was like, I was really offended by what you said because my sister has autism. And I was like, does your sister fuck sex dolls? Because that's a joke about autistic people who fuck sex dolls. Not a joke about all the other autistic people who never fuck anybody. But I think the idea of like a talking sex doll is kind of creepy. Do you think this is creepy? Yeah, I thought it was creepy too. But then honestly, like I thought about it a little bit more, and I realized it's actually ended up raising my opinion of men. Because I didn't realize any men sexually fantasized about women talking. And I know, because that's what I do for a living. Thoughts, feelings, emotions, instant boner killer. So I actually, I was on a show last night, and there were only 2 female comics on the show. As you can imagine, there's not a lot of us. And I went up to her and I gave her a big hug and I said, oh, I'm so happy to see you. And she gave me a weird look and said, why? We've met one time and it was over a month ago. And here's the thing, she's right. We had only met once and it was a while back. But that one time we met, she gave me a business card with her picture on it. And I've been using it to cut cocaine ever since. So all my best memories over the past month involve her face. Like we've had breakfast together. We've stayed up all night talking. We were hanging out back in the bathroom over there before I got on stage. I'm kidding. I do like cocaine though. I think it's a great drug because like every time I use it, I just feel like I'm 5 feet tall, but I snort a line of coke and I feel 7 feet tall. And like I feel like the whole world is like mine and I can have it and do with it whatever I want. Which is pretty much exactly what I imagine it must feel like to be a man. Just snorting a penis right into my face. I liked it. It was good. It was good. I actually hear a lot of comics doing material now about edging. Are you guys familiar with this? No? Okay, I'm going to explain it to you. It's a sexual thing, right? So this thing where guys will get themselves really, really sexually aroused, but then not orgasm. Men call this edging. I call it being a woman. Like, that feels really good if it just felt 5% better. It would actually be doing something for me. Something like that. Oh my goodness. So I was actually masturbating the other day, believe it or not. And I had just turned on my vibrator when a jackhammer started going off right outside the window. And it ruined the entire experience. Because like that sensation could really just not compete with that sound. So I felt like I have two choices right now, right? I can turn it off and give it up for the day, or I can set the vibrator to 10, but ruin myself for every sexual experience I'm ever gonna have. I'll let you decide which one I picked. But it's actually, I mentioned before I'm in a relationship, and my boyfriend actually thinks it's like sexy that I have a vibrator, and so he's always trying to get me to like use it in front of him. But the thing about it is like I won't do that because when I masturbate, I want to be able to use my ugly cum face. Like I just want to be full on like, it's not working if your face isn't hitting your knees. That's what I'm saying. That's the minimum. That's the minimum for me. Oh my God. You guys have been such a great crowd. I am going to leave you with this. Actually, no, I'm just going to freaking go already. Thanks so much for having me.